Hi, and this is how to cook venison part 2, and today we're going to cook these lovely venison shanks. Obviously, if you've watched part 1, you saw that I did the ground up venison, made that lovely stalker's pie. But today we're going to concentrate on these. You know, I love shanks, I like lamb shanks, I love venison shanks, and obviously this is a muscle that does a lot of work, so you know, it's tough as old boots as it is. So it needs a lot of slow cooking. This dish will take about 2.5 to 3 hours, but it's going to be amazing at the end of it. You know, it'll all break down. So what we're going to do to start off, we're going to season these really well with salt and pepper. I'm going to get the pan on, and we're just going to add some colour on these, nice and slowly, take about 10 minutes. I really don't think you can beat cooking like this. You know, it's just simple ingredients. What we got, you know, shanks, onion, carrots, bit of stock, some beer, and obviously some seasoning, and that's it. So what you're getting is the pure flavour of that meat. Right, so I'm going to move that over there. So what we need to do, we need to season these really well. You know, plenty of pepper on them. And obviously I've got the hind leg shank and the front shoulder hocks, I suppose you could call them. All I'm going to do is crank a load of pepper on them. You know, there's not a lot of fat on these, as you can see. That's the only thing with venison, you know, you don't get a lot of fat, but on the other hand, you know, it's good for you, it's organic, you know what it's at, you know, it's a cracking meat. So, I shall crank some more on that, get them nicely coated, get some salt, give that a good old, then once my oil's warmed up, nice and gentle, brown them all over and get some colour on them. Right, got my fat in there. All I'm doing then is I'm just going to gently brown them off, turning them, getting a nice colour, and a real deep colour we want on these. You know, again, you know, we're braising it, so you're not going to get any colour, but it's going to add flavour, it's going to caramelise, it's going to be lovely. As you can see there, I've got some colour on my shanks, and I'm just going to roughly chop these onions, quite a few onions, because these will just go down to nothing. And I'm going to straighten that pan with the oil, with all those lovely crusty bits of venison stuck to the bottom. So we'll get those in there, and we'll get those just gently sweating down for about 10 minutes. I'll just show you those onions. So we're scraping up all the bits at the bottom. That's all flavour. So that goes on there. I'm going to put a lid on that now, and all that natural moisture, all that natural water that's in the onions will make them go down. Right then, I'll show you that halfway through now. They've been 5 minutes, and as you can see in there, smells awesome. They've gone down a bit, so I want to do them for another 5 minutes, but I'm just going to put in my carrot now as well, and that's the base that those beautiful shanks will sit on. Right, it's been 10 minutes. Let's have a look at it. Fantastic. So what we're going to do, on that lovely bed of onions, put our shanks, our hocks, nice and snug. Don't forget that juice on there, it's all gold. Beautiful. And then pour some nice beer in, nice dark bitter. Gonna pour some in there, just have a go, you know. I know it's early in the morning, but the sun's gone down over the yard arm somewhere. Pour in the beer, it's about 450ml there. Once that's settled, just top it up till it's just covering with a bit of chicken stock. It's about 500ml there. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to put that back on the heat to come up to heat. Once it starts bubbling, turn it down to a simmer in the oven for at least 3 hours. Right, that's just starting to bubble, so what I'm going to do is make a cartouche, which is a fancy chefy word for some baking parchment that goes in there. And what that does is when it's braising, the steam hits the paper and goes straight back down into the meat, keeps it nice and moist. So all you've done is a square of paper, fold it into four, hold it into the middle, with your hands. Obviously, this ain't got to be a work of art, just a rough piece of paper. And that'll go in there. So I should take a little bit more off there. And then we should have the desired size. As you can see, it's bubbling away nicely. So what I'm going to do is place that on top, tuck it round, and obviously that's like a double barrier then. Keep it all nice and moist. Put that on, put the lid on. Gas.Part.2 then in the oven for at least 3 hours. You know, go and have a few beers with your mates, take a dog for a walk, even better. Watch the Scott Reed project for 3 hours. You'll love it, you know you will. Let's get it in the oven. These have been in for 3.5 hours on Gas.Part.2. And there, I've got some potatoes on just to make a bit of mash to go with it. Just have a look in there. Lovely. I'm just going to get a plate, because what I want to do is lift these shanks out, and I'm going to reduce that liquor. Oh man, these are going to be lovely. So I'm going to put that pot of juice back on and just reduce it so it's nice and thick. How nice does that look? So all I'm basically doing then is reducing that lovely gravy down by half, which it has. It's got thicker, obviously more intense, and I'm just going to place those shanks back in. And all I'm going to do now is let these tick over and warm through while I just finish off that mash. And you may have realised I started with 4 shanks. There's only 2 in there. I'm not going to lie to you, they were unbelievable. So let's see if these actually make it onto the plate. So, okay, it's time to dish this up. Just want to show you that lovely mash I made. Look how creamy that is, and that's how mash should be. You know, smooth, white, no moisture. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a dollop on my plate like that. You can hear the shanks go in there. Turn that off. Now I'm going to put 1 shank on a plate, and 1 shank is going to go on top of the, put that on there like that. And then some of this lovely, just put that on top. And there you have my beer braised venison shank. So before I tuck into that one, I just want to show you this shank here. Cooked low and slow, you know, on a low heat for a long time, and you can just, well, with a spoon you'll see, if you look, just comes apart. You know, low and slow. I had a motorcycle like that once. Low and slow, baby. But that, it's definitely the way forward with cuts like that. You know, just comes apart with a spoon. As you can see, that really is a fantastic plate of food. You know, that meat just pulls apart. And obviously that mash, some of them lovely sweet onions, you know, reduce down that beer, and the carrot. Can have a go. It's turned that much underused cut into something special. Please give this a go, guys, you know, and remember, part 3 coming up soon. That's lovely. Thanks for watching.